Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Female Prisoner 701, Scorpion, a Japanese dramatic thriller from 1972 that stars Meiko Kaji. This is the first of 4 installments of this franchise. Now our main character is a woman named Nami, played by Meiko Kaji, a woman who falls in love with a police detective named Sugimi. Now he convinces her to go undercover and investigate a drug smuggling ring, but her role is quickly discovered, and she is sexually assaulted by the drug dealers. As it turns out, this detective Sugimi was simply using her for his own purposes. So Nami, understandably so, seeks revenge, but is caught by authorities and sentenced to do hard time in a woman's prison that is run by sadistic guards. She's given the number 701, hence the title of the film. So this movie is frequently labeled as exploitation fare, and technically that is true. But this is not as confrontational or potentially offensive as something like School of the Holy Beast, which I recently reviewed on my channel. Yes, there is some nudity in this film as well as some sexual content, but Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion feels a bit more like a mainstream revenge flick that a wider variety of people can enjoy. This film actually begins with a pretty exciting jailbreak sequence with Meiko Kaji running from security guards in like a wetland area with really high grass. That's definitely a very nice way to start the film. It grabs you and locks you in kind of immediately. And then the conflict is very strong because, as a viewer, you're emphatically on the side of this protagonist the entire time. Not only was she betrayed by her lover, but now she's got to survive in a prison that's run by nasty guards who want to make her life a living hell. And on top of that, she's got to try to figure out a way to take revenge on this detective who's, living a normal life outside the prison. So she's kind of got a lot on her plate in this film, and it actually benefits to make it entertaining. Now, the types of punishments that are handed out to the women within this prison are not as slimy as you might imagine. I mean, sure, there are a few scenes that are degrading. For example, at the very beginning of the film, the women are forced to walk around naked for the amusement of the security guards. But most of the punishments are things that you would see in a typical mainstream prison movie. We're talking like hard labor, solitary confinement, that kind of thing. And there's a psychological angle to this as well, because the guards punish all of the prisoners for the misdeeds of our main protagonist. So this creates some animosity between the women in the prison, and that adds to the conflict that this woman Nami needs to resolve. So that's another one of the aspects of the film that makes it pretty entertaining and engaging. At its core, this is like a prison survival flick, right? But there are other aspects to Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion that help to set it apart from a typical prison film you'd see nowadays in America, like the lighting and the camera work. Now, I mentioned in my review of School of the Holy Beast that film had a very stylish kind of element to it, and the same can be said for this film. So, for example, there's a shot of Nami in solitary confinement near the beginning of the movie that's very visually interesting. It's shot from above, like the camera is looking down on her. It's colorfully lit with like sporadic sunlight coming in from outside. It uses water sounds very effectively. There's like a cracked roof that's like dripping rainwater down. It's pretty atmospheric stuff, I think, with kind of a bluish-gray color scheme. There are other shots within the prison that have a similar vibe, and it all portrays like a very cold, harsh, uncomfortable environment. There are some very stylish scene transitions, actually quite a number of them. For example, there's a flashback scene where Nami and her lover are on the floor, just lying down together, and the camera pans up and transitions to a nightclub scene in the same shot. And I don't think they edited it at all. It was just like one seamless camera shot where they had the set all set up, which is pretty cool. There's another transition shot that almost was like a stage play. Like you have, the main character lying down on the ground, and then there's people behind her, and then the stage almost kind of rotates, and then it shows like another scene with certain characters in it, which I thought was pretty cool as well. Some of the visuals are used to express strong emotion, like showing Nami's rage after being taken advantage of by her lover. That's one of the best shots of the whole film. It's pretty creepy, actually. I like that shot. And Kaji definitely sells it. Sound design is forceful but effective. There's a scene in a prison garden that like over accentuates bird chirping, but it was I don't know, there's something about it that just works. All these stylistic flourishes kind of make the film seem otherworldly at times, but only in a stylistic manner, because it never actually impacts the story per se. So things might be presented in a very weird way, but none of the characters acknowledge it, which is, again, it's a pretty interesting way to portray things in a film, I thought. Now, I mentioned that Meiko Kaji is the lead. She's, most people are familiar with her. She's most well known to international audiences for her role in Lady Snowblood, but she also had a hot streak during the 70s with stuff like Blind Woman's Curse, the Stray Cat Rock series, and Wandering Ginza Butterfly. One of the most noticeable things about Kaji's performances is that she expresses a lot through her eyes. Like, her eyes are like frickin' daggers, dude. Like, if I ever knew this woman in real life and she got mad at me and gave me that look that she gives so often in these movies, I would be a little intimidated. She's very expressionistic with her eyes, and it's definitely a hallmark of her acting style. Very good in that regard. So having her in a role like this, she actually lifts it up a few notches. So Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion is entertaining stuff. Legitimately entertaining. I could see myself watching this again. This is the second time I've seen this, and I might be purchasing a certain box set that's coming out. This movie is definitely efficiently paced. It's fun to watch. It's only 86 minutes long, so it's not a big time investment. I liked it even more during my recent viewing. And from what I remember about the sequels to this, I think Jailhouse 41 was my personal favorite. I think that's widely considered to be the best one. But the other two are worth watching as well. The entire franchise is currently available on Amazon streaming in the United States. And there's a very nice Blu-ray box set out there that's already been released. I forgot who released it, but it looks really good. Kind of expensive, but I might be picking that one up. We'll see. We'll have to see. But as always, I'll see you next time.